Chris with the Driving Fix. I have Dale here. Dale, thanks for taking time.
My pleasure.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
Glad to do it.
So I found out about this car through my father-in-law.
Right.
I saw it and I thought to myself, that thing is beautiful. Like, what is the story and is it available is what I asked him. And he said, no, that's Dale's car.
Yeah.
And he said, Dale would love to tell you about it. So
I'd be glad to.
Yeah. This is beautiful. Tell me, what is it?
This is a 1929 Model A Ford, and the model, our body style is called a Sport Coupe.
Okay.
And the Sport Coupe versus a regular coupe has, for instance, the buggy handlebars on the side of the roof, and it is a coupe, not a roadster, because a roadster, the top will go down. A roadster is an early term for a convertible back in the year of these years. And so the top does not come down, and it is a wood frame top, not metal like cars are nowadays. And much of the structure of this thing is wood underneath the metal.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So what's the story of this car? Like, I know anybody can get their driving fix by finding an old car, but you didn't just look this up in the sales magazine and get it.
That's right. It's got a history.
So let's hear it.
My mother turned 16 in 1929.
Nice.
And she lived on a farm with her mom and dad and her sister. And she was ready to go to work. She had gotten 2 years of education beyond 8th grade and got a job in Fort Wayne, Indiana as a switchboard operator.
Cool.
At Perfection Biscuit Company, which made Sunbeam bread back then.
All right.
And sold to groceries and all that. So it was a big enough plant that it had a switchboard. And she was a switchboard operator, or one of several probably.
Cool.
And so she went back and forth to the farm in this, and then she had girlfriends, and they often went up to lakes in northern Indiana. There's a whole lot of lakes and cottages and so forth, even back then. And so it made numerous trips up to the lakes and around Fort Wayne with her friends. I've got a picture. At one time they were at a lake house, and mom and a couple of gals were standing here looking at the left front wheel because the tire was flat. So they had to change the tire and so forth. I'm not sure any of the guys were around. My dad and my mom knew each other from grade school on, and they got married in 1937. And back then, when a lady got married, she was a housewife and not in the workforce. And this prior to World War II.
Okay.
Things all changed with World War II.
Right.
But so she went, became a housewife, didn't need the car anymore. My grandfather, her dad, had paid for half of it, or paid for all of it, and she paid him back for half of it. So she had it from 1929 to 1937.
Okay.
And then after that, my grandfather kept it on the farm. And he used it like a lot of people would use a pickup truck, except he took the rumble seat out of the back and had that open. And then he had a trailer hitch made out of wood that was attached to the bumper.
Okay.
And he had a little two-wheel trailer that he would take corn up to the mill to be grounded for chicken feed, field corn, and would feed take feed to the fields in the trailer to feed his cattle. He had sheep at one time and hogs. He was a full-fledged farmer and he had both cattle and grain, and would raise grain and hay to help feed the cattle during the wintertime and so forth. So it was much like a truck. And used that way.
Well, it looks beautiful now, so clearly something happened between now and then.
Something happened. In 1964, my grandfather retired from farming.
Okay.
And I did not have a car. I was in college, never had a car in high school, and I heard that my grandfather was going to sell this, and so I went to my mother and I said, "Hey, Mom, I don't have a car. You think Grandpa would sell me the Model A Ford?" She said, well, all we can do is ask. And so she picked up the phone and called her dad and said, "Hey, Dad, I had that car for a number of years and you've had it for a lot more. Dale's interested in the car. Would you be interested in selling it to him?" He said, "Just tell him to come out here and get it." So I did. Tires on it. This was in '64. Tires on it came. Some of them, not sure all of them, but some of them came as a result of rationing in World War II. Grandpa was a farmer, so he could get things like tires and gasoline and so forth. And so some of the tires that when I got it in 1964, were still World War II issues, and they were that way until I had it restored in 2004 and 5, and they held there.
They held.
And they held there. Now they can go down flat, but we could inflate them again. And so I drove the car when I was in college. My dad wisely would not let me take it and go from Fort Wayne to Valparaiso, a distance of 100 miles. He said, "You're not going in that car." And so I would just simply drive it in when I was home from college, working summers and so forth. And so it was, I dated. And my mother, when I got the car, there was no paint on it. This fender was badly damaged. My grandfather ran into the back of a truck up at a feed mill, and it was all messed up. And
was he all right?
Yeah, nobody was hurt. He wasn't going that fast.
All right.
And there's some other stories, but anyway, so I had some Bondo body putty,
Bondo,
and I smeared that on there. Well, I did at 19. I didn't know what I was doing.
I'm sure it looked.
Oh, it looked
horrific.
awful. No, it looked awful. And then a friend of mine, whose dad had a spray painter, a spray gun, paint sprayer, painted it all black for me. There was no paint on it. I sanded it down as best I could. I used 2 courses of sandpaper, and I had grooves in the metal and everything. And he painted it black, but his dad, my buddy's dad, worked for Toro lawnmowers. So Toro lawnmowers are red. So he painted Toro red wheels. So I had.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was black with red wheels. And then a friend of mine at the company I worked for in the summertime did some painting. He took the dashboard out and painted it red and white. And then my mother and my aunt made me a set of red and white seat covers. Well, back in 1960, that was pretty in vogue. I mean, red and white seats on on new Impalas and all that sort of stuff. Was in vogue. So I thought I was pretty cool driving this old car with these red and white seats and red and white dashboard, and red wheels and all that stuff. Anyway.
So how did it get to this color?
Well, this is the color it was originally.
Oh, okay.
And they were able, when I joined the Model A Club, and that's the next part of this story. My father-in-law, after I was married, we moved to St. Louis, Karen and I. She was from here, and he, of course, was here. And he worked for Wagner Electric Corporation. And he arranged for one of the semi-trucks that brought supplies down. They bought castings and stuff from northern Indiana and tools and I don't know what all. But there was a room on the back, inside the back end of a semi. And so this thing was rolled in, brought to St. Louis in the back of a semi.
No problem. These things will happen.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a little radiator leak up here.
Do I?
Yeah. I can see
out?
it. Got a little antifreeze kicking.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Well,
let's let that cool off, huh?
Yeah, we weren't driving it far enough. Yeah, that's all right. It'll be fine. Anyway, so
it's made it this far.
Oh yeah,
it'll be fine.
It'll start, hopefully.
So you were saying?
So anyway, he brought it to St. Louis in 1964 for me. And that antique historic vehicle plate was what I got in 1964 for it. Historic vehicle plates in Missouri have changed in design since then, but if you had one from that time period, you didn't have to change it. The numbers are much higher now.
Oh yeah,
so
that's
true.
Really
a low number.
That's pretty cool.
And so anyway,
love it. So you joined, and we got it back to this color.
I joined the Model A Club, and but that was only after I was sitting in the barber chair one day, and my barber said, "Well, you've told me you've got a Model A Ford, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, has it run lately? And I said, "No, it's parked in the garage, it's covered with dust and looks like heck, but it's in the garage." And he said, "Does it start?" And I said, I don't know. And he said the Model A Club here in St. Louis does an annual startup of a long parked Model A at their spring event.
That's
It was
a pretty
like
cool thing.
In May or June, something like that.
Uh-huh.
And it was done out of Burns Mill, Missouri, at some guy's house. And he was a big Model A repair guy. He had supplies and equipment and everything that you would need. And so they came with a trailer one day and picked this thing up about a week before this party and event, and they took it down there. And then I invited the family and the barber that connected us all.
Yeah.
The reason he asked me is because one of his other customers who also belonged to the Model A Club and was asking him if he had heard anything, because you know how you talk to your barber.
You got to get talking. Yeah.
And so that's how I got connected with the Model A Club, and then joined, and they took it down there, and took them 41 minutes to get this thing started.
Okay.
Which was pretty cool. My grandsons were like, let's see, in 2003, one was 9 and one was 7. And they were sitting in the back seat of the rumble seat the whole time these guys from the Model A Club were working on this thing, and they rolled it out of the garage and started it up, and it just smoked. And the boys were just sitting back there and enjoying it. didn't bat an eye.
That's entertainment. It's entertainment.
And so my family was all here for it, and that's when my son said, "Dad, if you don't get this thing restored pretty soon, you're not going to be old enough you're not going to be around long enough to enjoy it." And so through the club, I connected with a restoration guy down in Ponca City, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Went down and saw him the fall of 2003 as we were going to Texas where the grandkids were.
Yep.
They took it in the fall of 2004. At that point in time, there was a company up in Westport Plaza that had closed transportation, Passport Transport it was called.
Yeah, I remember that.
And eventually, I think it was owned by
Reliable Transportation, maybe.
No, I don't know who it was. So anyway, they were sold. But at that time, Passport Transport took it down to Ponca City.
Okay.
And then in May of 2005, it was done. So it went down in fall, October of 2004, was done in May of 2005.
Nice.
And they brought it then back to St. Louis. And that week or two later, my niece was married, and she and her husband rode away from the church in the rumble seat of the car. It had just been back for a couple of weeks.
I love that story. I'm on the hunt. I have a daughter getting married soon.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
This is called Rose Beige.
Rose Beige.
ROSE Beige. Rose Beige. It's got a kind of some Rose Beige Model A's a little pinker than what this is. Pinker hue to the paint.
Yeah.
And then then seal brown is the trim color here with orange pinstriping.
Okay.
And that's the way it was. Now, as you saw in the one picture I showed you, my grandfather would not have bought white wall tires in 1929.
That's an upgrade that is unnecessary.
Not necessary. That old German Lutheran. He didn't spend anything he didn't have to. And so anyway, but I wanted it restored into the same color that it was.
Yeah.
And that's what we have here now. And except for the black top, as I told you earlier, I chose that because it was black when I got the car. They had retopped it at one time. And I didn't like the cream color. So.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, you want to, I tell you what, continue with the story, but you also want to take me around. Maybe let's go from one corner to the other and kind of describe what we're looking at, because I know
you
a lot of folks have never. That's
you ought to hear that on the video.
Awesome. I love it. I mean, I would move, but I would also laugh and move at the same time.
That's the correct sound.
Auga.
The auga. That's the
awesome.
correct sound.
That's awesome.
Start here since we're at the front of the car.
See how that's going.
I'm not sure that's going to show you as much. Maybe we ought to be on the other side. The sun would shine in
might
better.
open the other side too. Yeah.
We can open the
Here,
other.
I can get in there on this side at least. Once I get close, it'll.
Focus.
Yeah, it'll focus and.
Little 4-cylinder.
Change. Yeah.
40 horsepower.
Okay.
Is what it was rated at.
40 horsepower.
40
all right.
horsepower.
That's all it needed.
Top speed. Back then, probably could get 55 out of it.
Okay.
I kind of stop at 45. That's about as, even though the engine was totally rebuilt
Yeah.
in 04 and 05 to take unleaded gas.
Yeah.
And so I still don't push it too far.
All right.
And so anyway, that's that side. Over here, we'll see if we got any gas leak or not. This is where the carburetor is. I don't think we, see, now much better lighting. No, there's nothing leaking.
That's a nice little setup. Just kind of hang it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Now
Pretty straightforward.
this is the gas tank.
Where's
And
that?
it's right here.
Okay.
And gas fill is right there.
All right.
And this is what they call gravity fed. I mean, it's strictly gravity. That's
Right there.
There's no fuel pump.
I can see it.
It just comes right on down the line and into the carburetor. And there is a little leak there. Yeah.
Sweating. Just sweating.
Yeah. So, anyway, and then this is the interior,
Uh-huh.
and it's just like it was. There was a company that was in business when I had this restored, that had the exact materials needed to do the upholstery and door panels the same way as it was. Now the back window will even flip up, and it attaches up here. There's snaps.
Oh yeah,
the
that's
window
cool.
snaps up.
So you can get some air.
Well, that's what we call 4-season air conditioning, or 4-window air conditioning, or 440 air conditioning. Roll all windows down, open them up, and drive 40 mile an hour, and you got 440 air conditioning.
440 air conditioning. I love it. And what do we have here? The instrument cluster.
Instrument cluster, pretty basic. You got a amp gauge,
All right.
a fuel gauge, and a speedometer, and that's it.
All right.
That center thing is a light that for night driving to light your speedometer up.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So, and then it's got a emergency brake in there.
Yeah.
And then back here is the rumble seat.
Well, there it is. Have you ever been back there? Just guessed.
I have.
Not in motion though.
I know. I've never. I've had all my grandkids learn how to drive it. My son and daughter, and I've always been in the passenger seat.
That is a hoot. What do people say that when they ride back there? What
Wow.
do they give you a description? Or?
Well, they say, "Oh, this is so fun, Grandpa." Or Uncle
That is it.
Dale.
So what is it like to drive? How does it feel?
It's bouncy because it has a short wheelbase.
Yep.
You know, so
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's pretty stiff. It doesn't have the shocks of modern day cars.
Okay.
So you feel the bumps,
Okay.
and that's why driving 35, 40 mile an hour is about all you want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But it's got to make you smile though, because it's so different than cars today.
it is. It's
Yeah.
fun to have. It's fun to drive, and you know, it's what it is. So,
So you get on by one
Yeah.
step, two step,
yeah,
climb yourself in.
left foot, right foot, left foot in.
All right.
And
Super
so-
cool.
and then usually I've got a little drape that fits over that foot plate and protects the paint
Yeah, yeah.
from dragging shoes with
Ooh,
you
yeah.
know, gravel or anything in the shoes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's
Yeah.
very cool. Very cool. And you got the Model A Museum we were talking about.
yeah, that's up in Gilmore. That's the Gilmore Museum up in Hickory Corners, Michigan. One of the most fabulous car museums I've ever been to.
Really?
Because it's got individual museums on its 90-acre campus for a bunch of different makes and models of cars. There's a Lincoln Museum, a Cadillac Museum, a Model A Ford Museum, and then Packard, I think there's Packard may not be there, but some of the early brands of cars, like Pierce Arrow.
Yeah.
There's a Pierce Arrow up there, a museum, and they're in separate buildings, but it's all on the same
And where is it at again?
right outside of Kalamazoo.
All right. I'm going to put that on my to-do list.
Hickory Corners, it's fabulous. every third week in September, every September in the third week of the month is Model A days, weekends.
Yeah.
So they bring a couple hundred of them up there from all over the country. There's they buy and sell. There's parts and all that kind of stuff available and so forth. So,
super cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about this car?
The fact that it's been in the family all this time.
Since new.
Since new.
I mean, that's unheard of.
Yeah. When my grandfather gave it to me, he said, before you try and get rid of it, why don't you offer it to your brothers or your cousin? I have two brothers and one cousin on that same, from all said grandpa to him. And so my son's going to get this one, and we'll see. And then my grandkids know that somebody along the line, whoever's got the means to take care of it, will do so.
What a wonderful story. So, I guess that's hard to top. But has there ever been any like major drama or just like things you
Not
just
really.
Stories where you were like, I'm going to get rid of this thing?
No, I've never said that.
All right, that's
Fortunately,
good.
I've never financially had to.
Yes.
And once I dump the money into restoring it, I've got more money invested in it than it's worth. So it's not a moneymaker.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's beautiful. I tell you what, it's got to make people smile when they see you drive down the road.
it is. I get a lot of honks and waves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mostly just go down Clayton Road and come back on Conway or something like that. Never take it out on the interstate.
Nice. Well, what are you thinking? Do you have time? Do you want to drive it today? Or
Sure, we can take a ride.
Let's do it. I tell you, it feels like it has good torque.
Yeah. The one thing you have to know about when you drive one of these things is how to double clutch.
All right.
Now, double clutch means that after you take it out of one gear, you let the clutch up while it's in neutral, and then push it down again before you shift into the next gear.
Okay.
And otherwise, you'll grind the gears, and that don't sound good.
So like that? No,
that's just
so they're not synchronized.
That's exactly right. It's not a synchronized transmission.
So most people really don't know about double clutch.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
My grandkids had a time of it trying to learn how to do that.
So this is the double clutch action we're talking about.
So then it goes into third gear.
All right, nice.
It's just 3 speeds, first, second, and third forward and reverse, the typical H pattern of a stick shift. Hold on, we're just going to cruise around the curve here.
Love it.
So you can see with the short wheelbase, it bounces.
Yeah.
But it's not terribly uncomfortable.
No, it's not bad. Well, the seat's super comfortable.
Yeah,
It's got a nice bounce.
The problem is, back then, people were basically shorter than they are nowadays. And when my son or my grandson try and drive this thing, they're up against the steering wheel. And there's no way to move the seat back.
Yeah.
Well, some people I've read in some of the Model A news letters I get, that if you take the package shelf out behind here, you can move the seat back. And you got to take the base loose and reset it and all that.
Yeah.
And since I can drive it this way, that won't happen as long as I own the car. But my son or my grandson know about it. Someday that may happen.
So what you were telling me about these switches here again?
This is the light. This is the hand throttle.
All right.
And this is the spark advance. And then this is the horn.
Love it.
And then this is the light. And the lights, the headlights.
Yeah. All right.
And you've got a bright, and you've got a parking light, and then the bright again.
Nice.
So we're gonna do a left turn here.
Yeah, no problem.
My son and I installed directional signals a couple years ago, and said one time, "What do you want for Christmas, Dad?" I said, "I think I need to set a directional
windshield looks like.
It will fold out.
It'll fold out for that super air you're talking about.
That's right. That's why you need that out to have all four open to get 440 air conditioning. Four windows open, 40 mile an hour.
Yeah, as long as you got breeze. It could be
Yeah.
a hot day. You just need the breeze.
Right. Feel the power.
I can feel the power.